do you want?
To wipe out every trace of the sisters from our worlds. That is why I've been gifted a great power.
Consider me a true believer.
It's just a huge responsibility. A man came to fix my TV, and when I told him I was to the Harkonnen, he knelt down at my feet. I was like, okay, I have to take this very, very seriously.
It's the most, as an actor, it's a gift, this world, because it's morally very, very complicated and everybody's really messed up. But we're playing with, trying to control the universe. And to enter that world that, the Villeneuve films have created, and we call ourselves 10,000 years BC before Chalamet, but to be portraying the origins of how all that has come to be is thrilling.
It's so exciting. I mean, I loved the first film and became a fan of the universe when I watched that, so to get to be a part of that myself is so exciting.
It's just so cool. Like, I feel like every part of it, I'm like, ooh, like, even the bits I'm not in, I was so excited to, like, watch them, because I was like, this is just, like, a completely different show to the one I thought I was in. So I think it's so expansive, and
it's exactly the type of job which, like, you really want to do when you're an actor, I think, but, like, you don't always get the opportunity, and, like, that people are going to watch it and be excited for it, which is, like, a great feeling, because usually, like, no one watches anything that you do, and it's just...
people are gonna watch this. Oh no!
It's so nice to be able to, like, tell you. Do you understand? Like, telling your family, like, I'm gonna be in a show called Dune. It's gonna be on Sky or HBO, and you are definitely gonna be able to watch it. Like, definitely, because, like, I don't think my parents have seen anything that I've been in for years. So.
My grandpa read the book when he was a kid, so we kind of got that intro to it. So when I told him I booked this project, he was like stoked. but yeah, and I got into it, I guess, through the films and then read the books after that. But yeah, he's probably going to be the one watching it the most, I'd say.
That's so nice.
I can speak to that. I mean, I think that we were able to really have the best of both worlds. Like, on the one hand, we're very much rooted in the Sisterhood of Dune trilogy, the Schools trilogy that Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson wrote, and that's been a seminal text for us. But we're also telling a story that takes place over decades, and so some of the story is more rooted in the books, and some of the story we're telling is actually a bit outside the books, a little bit later in the future. Where we've had the opportunity, working with the Dune estate, and but to create on our own and contribute to this mythology, which is just like Olivia said, a tremendous responsibility, a tremendous privilege, incredibly exciting as a science fiction writer and fan. So, it's been thrilling.
Very thrilling. I like to say 10,000 years before the birth of Paul Atreides, a prophecy called for a new hero, and it's a Harkonnen, so we get to kind of tell a story of Dune through a Harkonnen perspective.
I think for me, my character didn't exist, like, in the book, so I think maybe she was only mentioned about once somewhere in the Dune universe. So I think I had, like, full creative control with, like, how I felt like she would act in certain situations, and like the same with, like, the skills of the sisterhood. So I thought, yeah, that was quite nice to not feel the pressure of, like, a pre-existing character. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Constantine was the same. That was not necessarily built in the books, but yeah, I think Allison gave us a lot of, like, grace to kind of play with it and see, like, where we wanted to take it within, I guess, like, the framework of, like, not just playing completely different character, but yeah, it was a lot of freedom mindset in my experience.
Yeah.
I don't know, as an actor, so much is very similar, where it's about family, it's about the pain that you had as a kid, and it's about trying to achieve what you want no matter what, and the character's very flawed, and he's very, you don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy, so, and that's the same with these lovely ladies. Every character is so complex, and every character thinks they're right and thinks that they're what they want to do is correct. You know, I think their thought patterns are right. And anyway, everybody's a mess, I think.
That's good. It's way more interesting.
That's a tagline. Everybody.
Nobody will feel like.
I think that is the challenge. Like, that is literally what we set out to do, which is to be in a world that has immense world building and is imagining a future and is so creative, but to ground it through our characters. Because for me, if you're not being pulled by the human story that's being told, there'll always be something lacking. And so that is the art, as far as I'm concerned, to ground our story through character. And the cast that we've assembled is just so mind-blowing. They take what you put on the page and elevate it in ways, we couldn't have ever imagined, beyond what we dreamed of. So
When you're filming, actually, it's a very small room. You could be in the most vast mine in northern Hungary, but it's you, the other actor, and we were talking about him earlier, Jeff Bois, Steadicam operator, and you're in this little world talking about love and hate and future of the universe. It can be tiny, it can be sushi, or it can be Christmas dinner.
I got to film outside, which is, guys, I got to go outside, and it was really snowing. Actually, when you watch it, you'll see a lot of stuff where they've obviously painted and done CGI stuff, but actually, no, not with the snow. What you see is actually what I was made. It was genuinely December. Also, my second day filming was in a torrential rain machine for 8 hours. So day 2, I was this is not, I don't know, I'd never done a genre like this before. And as much as I definitely still was on the sound stages where you're I'm in Disneyland, this is crazy. I still had a fair amount of things. I'm this is actually an action movie. It was more than being grounded. It was I felt kind of afraid. And I was hit by the rain. I don't know how I didn't get sick from that.
Oh, so gratifying.
It's really hard. This is a glass room, and it's very distracting because there's a lot of fun down there. Phenomenal costumes. Oh my god!
But they are. What's cool about the fans is that their desire for something like this really kind of gives us the kind of motivation to make it good. They are the choir that we preach to, so it's kind of fun to kind of unveil the next big trailer to them. And
It's slightly intimidating as well. I feel like these are people who are so immersed in the lore of all of this. It feels like it's theirs.
And there's a lot of them, and some of them got swords on the foot.
You gotta be careful where they point.
Yeah.
Train wreck.
I feel like I could use that one as well.
We can share it.
Angry. Just really, really angry.
And pathetic is what I'm gonna say.
That's nice.
Both ends of the spectrum here. I think I'll go with independent. So very nice.
I'm doing about 5. Look out for the quiet one. I'd say the end justifies the means.
I would say plans within plans. We're always trying to tell multiple levels of story.
I would say, true to what Frank Herbert wrote about, beware of your heroes.
HBO.
Streaming on Max.